going on, people? How you doing? Everything's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. Good to see you guys. Before I get into anything, let's get right into it. Y'all already know, man. I got a song out. It's all you. It's all you. Let's get into it, you guys. So let me just vibe on this while I get my notes. Prepare the rest of my notes right here. You know what I mean? So here we go. Some of you guys have heard it already. It's like a love poem, like a kind of like a love song, love poem. I'm telling the girl, like, it's the reasons why I do this. It's all you. You're the reasons why I do all these things.
The reason why every day is like a surprise. The reason why I wake up with the biggest of smiles. The reason why I feel I'm at the greatest of heights. The reason why the sun likes to shine so bright. The reason why the sky is a beautiful blue. The reason why the trees give us life so true. The reason why every bird loves to sing. The reason why I'm out looking for that ring. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl. It's all you. It's all you. It's you.
Batista, what's going on?
Never ask for anything, so I'ma give you everything. Everyone else only really wants me for my money. And the day you got with me, you became a millionaire. You never even knew I made $2 million every year. Now I'm friends by and Imola, we hit Paris in that bench truck. Exclusive art, luxurious, extravagant, and then some. Ocean breeze and palm trees, Pacific coast and high seas. Everything you wanted, each and every single dream. You saw me cry for my kids, shed so many tears for these styling amenities. You said be patient until they're 18.
Mark Bull,
Then they won't
44,
be
I
under
see you.
that Sally Ho's wings. When I went to jail, you stayed right there. So sweetheart, now I swear, everything that's me and everything that's you and everything that's us and everything that's true. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl. It's all you. It's all you. It's you, girl.
My guitar skills. Alright. We'll get back to that, man. So it's all you, man. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's my bio right now, I believe. So go ahead and check that out. Click that, man. It's all you. It's all good. Beautiful Jewel, what's going on, sister? Get back to that a little bit later, man. But it's all you. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out. It's a beautiful love song. Beautiful romantic poem. But how you guys doing? I'm Dogg, Anti-Imperial the Chill. One name, 3 personalities, Dogg. Dogg is kind of like the sexually explicit guy. He's a little bit thug, a little bit gangster and things like that, but he's a clown, likes to have fun, the nerd, a dork and things like that. That's Dogg. Anti-Imperial is in the center because Anti-Imperial is more tied in with who I truly am. Anti-Imperial is all about upliftment, international political science, education, religion, sociology, psychology, philosophy, physiology, macro and microeconomics, and world history and things like that. That's Anti-Imperial. And the Chill is the last term, and that's the last part of the name. And the Chill is a hopeless romantic, all about falling in love, raising a family, and things like that. And that is who I am, Dogg, Anti-Imperial, the Chill. You guys, this is Diversity Outspoken. We do this every Wednesday and every Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. United States Eastern Time Zone. So every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock p.m. United States Eastern Time Zone, and every Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. United States Eastern Time Zone. We call this Diversity Outspoken because we speak about a diverse range of topics, meaning that we speak about anything and everything, and we are outspoken or straight to the point about those topics. Beautiful Jewel, how you been? How you doing, sister? How's the family holding up? You guys, I have one rule here on Diversity Outspoken, and that is that you guys remain respectful of the environment of Diversity Outspoken and remain respectful of one another. You can agree, you can disagree, just remain respectful of the environment of Diversity Outspoken as a whole and remain respectful of each other. I wouldn't want to have to block anybody, here, but I will if I have to, but I never have to do that with you guys because we're all family here and we always respect one another. You guys, every day I do a daily historical post, so if you guys ever get bored or just want to see what happened on that particular day, going back decades, going back centuries, or going back even thousands of years, you guys can check out my daily historical posts. I do that every single day on Instagram and TikTok. I post those. You guys, on Instagram is much better than on TikTok because on Instagram it gives me the space to be able to be as detailed as I can to explain the historical moment or the historical post. TikTok doesn't, but I still post those on TikTok nevertheless. You guys, in order to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, all you have to do, that's good to hear, beautiful Jewel. Everybody's doing good, considering. And of course, I'm going to always ask, I love you, sister. I think about you all constantly, on a consistent basis. I was going to say I think about you all the time, but that would be like, when people say like, I think about you all the time, like every waking moment, and it's like not really true. But I would never like exaggerate, you know what I'm saying? So you do pass through my mind on multiple occasions throughout the day. I would probably say about 7-8 times throughout the day, Interstellar Traveler, I see you. What's going on, sister? Superstar 617, aka Sonya. How you doing, sister? It's all good. But definitely, I think about you on a consistent basis, beautiful Jewel. On a consistent basis. For sure. You guys, to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you guys can follow me at Anti-Imperial. Definitely good to see you, sister. Good morning from over here in China, but you guys, it's all good. Good evening from over there in New York City and from over there in Miami for Superstar 617. But good morning from over here in China. It's all good. I'm gonna get right to that, Interstellar. Give me 1 second. So to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok right here. You see it on the shirt at Anti_Imperial. Don't forget that underscore right there. Don't forget that underscore at Anti_Imperial on Instagram and TikTok. On YouTube, it's just Anti-Imperial with a space in between. On YouTube, there's no underscore to subscribe to my YouTube. On Instagram, it's at Anti_. Don't forget that underscore Imperial on Instagram and TikTok. The easiest way, you guys, to subscribe to my YouTube if you have me on Instagram is to go to my Instagram bio page or my IG bio page. You guys all know we all get an Instagram or IG bio page. On that Instagram or IG bio page, we get that one line for a link, and that one line for a link will always be my latest video. Just like we just got finished listening to It's All You, right? Which is why it seems like my time is thrown back so much further. But we just got finished listening to It's All You. So you guys, that's the video that's there right now. But what's going on? 2000. Who's that? Flachuan. What's going on? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien. And who is that? Atkinson. What's going on? The Kochia. That's a beautiful name. The Kochia. Atkinson, how you guys doing? It's all good. Good to see you. You guys, the easiest way, when you go to my Instagram or my IG bio page, you click that link, that one line we have for a link, my latest video will come up, and when that latest video comes up, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. It will be a YouTube video, and I'd appreciate that, you guys. Now, Interstellar Traveler, this is the part for you. Oh, Superstar 617 says she loves that song. It's all you. It's all you. She says she loves that song. I'm gonna have to play it again at the end of all this. It's all good. Appreciate that, Superstar 617. I love you, sister. So, this right here, what we're doing today, you guys, or tonight for you guys over there, but today for me, what we're doing today, you guys, is part two of the coronavirus, COVID-19. You guys remember part one was all about a lesson in government regulation. Part one I went through in detail, super detail in part one. Also, just let me say, if you haven't checked out part 1, go check out part 1. I'll see if I can put that in the cards, actually, for when I post this on YouTube. I'll see if I can do that if I remember. But also, this will be posted on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you also can find the links to my Instagram and TikTok down in the description below. You can also do that. So don't forget about that. But part 1, you guys, was a lesson in government regulation. I went through the whole thing with population and things like that, about how China compares to the U.S. I use the United States because most of you guys that are watching gonna see this are from over there in the U.S. So I wanted to give you guys like numbers that you guys can relate to, and that are more personal to you. So we went through that, you guys. Went through the whole thing about Chinese food markets, why it got that way, what happened in the 1970s, about how China, with the huge population, the farms in China couldn't keep up with the amount of people that needed the food and things like that. I went through that. Like I said, this is real good information. But if you didn't watch it, go back and watch my coronavirus COVID-19 part 1, which is called Lesson in Government Regulation. That's why I'm not going through it in detail now, because I already went through that in part 1. This is part 2. Going through that, we went through that. We went through how the animals, how they're piled in cages, how the different type of animals that they use, because of how the government in China deregulated. They didn't regulate the food anymore. It didn't regulate the farms, didn't regulate what goes in the grocery stores. I went through the whole thing about how over there in the United States, you guys have the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, and you guys have Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and those two things help. What's going on, Kyle Clarice? I see you. Those two things help keep you guys really, really safe from diseases over there. But I went through how you guys don't have to deal with the amount of population that we have over here. We have like 6-7 times the amount of people you guys have in the United States. So being that's the case, and I went through how you guys over there, you guys have neighborhoods that are, you guys have rich neighborhoods. You guys have neighborhoods that are more, poorer, or like, under, like, economically lower, social lower class and things like that, right? And the Solar Traveler says, yeah, the Zootan viruses come straight from those wet markets. Yeah, it comes straight from the wet markets, you guys. And we went through that whole thing about how, because of our population over here, and we have so many more people, how you guys don't really understand what we have to deal with when it comes to food and things like that. Like, if you guys have hungry people, if you guys have homeless people over there in the U.S. and things like that, people that can't find a job in the U.S., imagine if you had 7 times as many people as you have now. If you have people right now that can't find jobs, or that are poor, or that can't find food and things like that in the U.S., imagine if you guys had 7 times as many people as you guys have now, right? You guys have a little bit over 300 million. We have like 7 times that over here, right? So think about that, okay? What's going on, Roselle Poeta? What's going on? It's all good. Kyle Clarice says, yes, it does. For sure, Kyle Clarice. Roselle Poeta, Johnson Antiques, I see you. So I went through that whole thing, you guys, about how that made the Chinese government have to allow more different type of animals into our food system, and had to allow other individuals that weren't regular farms, like, into our food system, because we couldn't afford to feed. Like I said, and this is the last thing I'll say about part 1. I'm moving straight into part 2. But like I said, you guys, if a cow is born on Thursday, a cow is not fully grown on Friday, right? Interstellar Traveler says, Kyle Clarice says, right, yes. Interstellar Traveler says, I made a video about this on about my page on this. Interstellar, definitely, for sure. Y'all go check out Interstellar_Traveler. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Go check out her stuff. Interstellar_Traveler. You know what I mean? For those of you guys who follow her, because I know her page is private, so she don't play that. It's all good. But for sure. But yeah, you guys, it's like, if a cow is born on Thursday, it's not fully grown by Friday. Okay? If a chicken is born on Thursday, it's not fully grown by Friday. All right. If a pig is grown on Thursday, it's not. If a pig is born on Thursday, it's not fully grown by Friday. And I'm bringing those things up to say that you can't, for a country like the population that what we have over here in China, you can't grow pigs, cows, and chickens fast enough to feed everybody. You can't do it. It just physically can't be done. They just can't go fast enough. So that being the case, we had to bring in other animals. So we had to bring in all those other animals, peacocks and bears and different things, dogs and cats and all this other type of meat, because we just couldn't have, the Chinese government couldn't grow pigs and cows and chickens fast enough. And that's what you guys are used to eating over there, right? Pigs, cows, chickens. That's basically what you guys are used to eating. Okay, all your hamburger, that's cows, and steaks, that's cows, and things like that. That's cows. Then you have your chicken, right? Everything else is chicken, right? Chicken tenders and chicken fingers and chicken nuggets and chicken sandwiches and chicken this and chicken that. That's chicken. Then you have your pigs. That's your bacon. That's your ham, right? That's your pork chops. That's your ribs. That's all the pigs. So you have the chicken, the cows, the pigs. Over here, we have chicken, cows, and pigs too. But we have 7 times as many people as you guys have. So yes, the chickens and cows and pigs might be able to eat 300 million people over here might be able to eat that. But what about the other people? What about the other 1.4 billion people, 1.3 billion people? What about the other billions of people we have over here? What are they supposed to eat if they can't eat the chicken and cows and pigs because the chickens and cows and pigs don't go fast enough? So they had to start eating other meat. And that's how we start to get into these wet markets and things like that. Interstellar Traveler says, vegetarian and veganism was always an option. Absolutely. And I made a in my mind about that. If you guys saw that in my mind, it's on YouTube about vegetarians and vegans and things like that. And I actually do a video where I'm saying for all the meat eaters, we apologize to the vegans, to any vegans and vegetarians who get the coronavirus, because any vegans and vegetarians who get the coronavirus, it wasn't their fault at all, because this came from meat eaters. So imagine if you're a vegan or a vegetarian and you get the coronavirus and you're like, man, I've been doing the right thing the whole time and I'm getting this virus because of y'all. It's not even because of me, because I don't even eat meat, and this came from people that eat meat. So my heart really goes out to any vegans and vegetarians who get the coronavirus, because it's really not your fault. We really gave that, guys, to you. Us meat eaters are really giving that virus to vegans and vegetarians, and it's really sad because you guys don't deserve that, definitely, for sure. So that was all part one, you guys. And Kyle Clarice says, Readings by Julie. First we say Readings by Julie has joined. Readings by Julie. What's going on? I see you. Kyle Clarice says, where do you live? Well, Kyle Clarice, I was born in Miami, Florida. But then I went to the University of Miami for my undergrad. I went to the University of Miami for college for my undergrad. And after that, I went to the Middle East. I went to the University of Cairo in Egypt and the University of Damascus in Syria. And that's where I got my double master's degrees. I got one double master's degree. My first double master's degree is is world history and geographical studies. My second double master's degree is international political science and economics, macroeconomics, international political science and economic development, macroeconomics. That was Syria, and then I came over here to China. Also got my PhD in international relations, international affairs, and so that's kind of how that goes. Help Rashad, I see you. Help Rashad, it's all good. Interstellar Traveler says, facts on facts. If she was a vegetarian or vegan, she would be livid because meat eaters are the reason why the coronavirus exists. What's going on, Adam Moores? I see you. Lyles Leonard, I see you. It's all good. Okay, you guys, so part two. So that being said, you guys, so for you guys over there that eat chicken in the United States, you guys are used to eating chicken, eating beef, eating pigs. So a lot of people, when you think about over here, what we have over here, you guys, in China, a lot of people say things like, all right, man, you guys eat cats, you guys eat, and Interstellar Traveler says, Kyle Clarice says, OMG, it's all good, Kyle Clarice. Interstellar Traveler says, no, I am vegan, LOL. For sure. All the yes, for sure. So everybody who eats meat, we gotta apologize to my sister Interstellar Traveler and all the vegans and vegetarians, because this coronavirus came from eating meat. So any vegan or vegetarian that gets it, it's not their fault. We should give them a huge apology, because it's our fault that these things exist. It's our fault all these things exist, you guys. It's our fault that it's not just this just right now. It's our fault that SARS exists. It's our fault that the flu comes from birds and pigs. HIV comes from chimpanzees, but Ebola comes from bats. This coronavirus comes from bats. Bird flu came from chicken. Mad cow disease back in the days came from beef. That's from a cow. And pigs have so many different type of diseases about them. So meat eaters bring like the majority of diseases into our society come from meat eaters and eating meat. Just to be honest. And like I said, hey, I love my barbecue steak too, you know what I mean? I love my churrasco, you know what I mean? My skirt steak on the grill and stuff like that. Yes, of course. And, you know, I love chicken and things like that also. But it's just a reality. Like, I'm a meat eater also, but it's just a reality that the majority of all these diseases, like in society, all come from eating meat. So if people just didn't eat meat, you would knock out a whole slew of diseases, you guys. Yep. If people didn't eat meat, you would knock out a whole slew of diseases. For sure, for sure. Kyle Clarice says, I only eat chicken and turkey. That's really good, Kyle Clarice. That's where a lot of people, you know, because red meat has a whole... When you're talking about red meat and when you're talking about pork, that's a whole different diversity outspoken. That's a whole different issue. Right? It's a whole different issue. It's all good. Kyle Clarice says, yes, I eat chicken, turkey, and fish, and only that. And Kyle Clarice says, yes, they do. All these meat, you know, eating meat brings all these diseases. Interstellar Traveler says, exactly. And Kyle Clarice says, right. And Interstellar Traveler says, I don't even eat seafood. But, well, you know, with seafood, especially nowadays, you have to watch out for mercury and things like that. There's just so much with eating meat, you guys. There's so much. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to go to my YouTube channel, Anti-Imperial, and you guys really need to watch the video I did about as a meat eater, ... to all my vegans and vegetarians. That's the name of it. As a meat eater to all my vegans and vegetarians. You guys really need to watch that because it will explain a lot of that stuff. And if you haven't seen part 1 of my coronavirus Diversity Outspoken episode, you really need to watch my part 1 because I go through so much stuff in detail. But you guys, so over here, people think it's weird that, you know, China, and people in China, people over here, like I said, we have a population situation that you guys would never understand. Therefore, we needed to introduce because of meat eaters. Now, you don't, like Interstellar Traveler said before, you don't have to be a meat eater, but because of meat eaters over here in China, we needed to introduce new meats because cows and pigs and chickens, there weren't enough cows and pigs and chickens to go around to feed our huge population of billions of people, right? So, that being the case, Interstellar Traveler says, at this point, I hope people reconsider not eating meat. And Interstellar Traveler says, yeah, at this point, I hope people reconsider about not eating meat. And Kyle Clarice says, yes, I know. To kind of like, you know, double back what Interstellar Traveler just said. And Interstellar Traveler says, to be honest. And I think people should reconsider not eating meat also. It's interesting because not eating meat, not only will it stop the spread of all these diseases, but it will also make you a healthier person in life, and you'll have a better life. Your skin will be better and things like that, and you'll have a healthier and live a better life. So there's a lot of different reasons why people should stop eating meat. It's just, for a lot of people, it's just the taste. You know, it's the taste of it, and a lot of people just, they crave that taste. I don't want to get too deep in the woods, but this is like for a different Diversity Outspoken episode. But you know, the things they put in meat, the process material, you know, meat's processed and stuff like that. A lot of times, it has the same effect of the way it affects the dopamine in your brain, like how candy does, to where it makes you crave it even more, like how a drug user. So people that use drugs, and I don't want to talk about this too much because it's kind of going off on. I'm taking like a little side road right now. I took a left turn for a second, but I'll get back on the straightaway in a second. But the thing about it is with meat that is hard for a lot of people to stop eating meat is that a lot of the processing material that they put in meat is the same of like what happens with candy and things like that, to where people crave it, and then when they get it, they feel so good because it tastes so good. It makes your body feel so good that they crave that feeling again and again and again. And that's the problem. Because if you were just to eat meat, so back in the days, like thousands of years ago, like you guys know, I'm half black. My dad's African American, my mom's Native American, right? So Like thousands of years ago, my mom's side, the Native American side, right? We used to kill our meat, and over there in North America, that's the reason why I'm bringing it up, because you guys over there in the United States, like over there in North America, before the Europeans came over, we would kill the buffalo, kill the cow, and things like that, and we would eat it. But back then, you guys, people, like, it wasn't like the type of effect that it has now, because food processing didn't exist yet. You know what I'm saying? And Kyle says, yes, but it's so good. What's going on? Who's that? 3 Love, I see you. It's all good. Good to see you. But food processing didn't exist yet, so all those processes in food didn't exist yet. Also, for a lot of people in a lot of places around the world, salt wasn't everywhere. Salt was only in Asia, the Middle East, and the rich people in Europe were the only ones that were able to afford salt. So meat was just something that you would eat just to fill yourself up really, really quickly. So people didn't crave it back then, thousands of years ago, the way they crave it now. What's going on, Louis? I see you. Who's that? Louis Gerardo on Actor. I see you. So it was different. But now, the way they do meat, they put so much stuff into it that it makes your body crave it, because it affects the dopamine in your brain the same way that drugs do for people. So the people that use heroin, people that use cocaine or crack, the reason why it's hard for them to get off of it is because it affects the part of your brain, whereas it increases your dopamine, so that it makes you feel so good. It makes your body feel so good. You want that feeling over and over and over and over, and that's how it works. And some of the processing that they do to meat these days is the same type of thing, where it affects on purpose. They do that on purpose. It affects the part of your brain to where it makes you feel good, and it makes you crave more and more and more and more. And that's why it's hard for people to get off of meat and junk food and things like that, because of that reason. But like I said, that's a whole nother Diversity Outspoken. All right, girl. People, I took a left turn. Let me get back on the straight and narrow. All right, so back on the street. All right, so I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible, you guys. This is part 2 of the coronavirus. Okay, so here we go. So a lot of people think it's weird, you guys, and Kyle Clarice says, wow, yeah, Kyle Clarice, is crazy the way these things work. So, but they do that to keep you coming back for more, right? Because they have to put these things, the processes in the food to keep you coming back for more. So they keep making more money off of you, and you can't, and you're addicted to it, and you just need it, and you crave it. You don't even know why you're craving it, but you just crave it. But it's because of that, the processes that they put into the meat to affect your brain to make you want to come back and get more, because you're addicted to it, because it makes you feel so good once you eat it, and that's what happens. So people think that over here in China, we eat cats. Well, I don't personally, but people eat cats, dogs, cow, pigs, chicken. They eat different type of birds. They eat ferrets. They eat peacocks, deer. Well, over there in the United States, some people eat deer also. They eat crocodile or alligator, and over there in the United States, they eat alligator and crocodile. Some people eat that also. We eat turkey. Over there in the U.S., you guys eat turkey also. Swans, kangaroos, squirrels, snakes. Some people over there in the U.S. eat snakes. Snails. You guys eat snails also. That's called escargot. For rich people, rich people eat snails in the U.S. It's called escargot. When you go to a rich dinner, you get escargot. You guys call it escargot. That's snails. We eat that over here also. Like I said, not me personally, but people over here eat that. Over here in China, they eat foxes, ostriches, geese, hedgehogs, pheasants. A lot of people who hunt over there, you guys eat pheasants also. Hunters over there eat pheasants. RAB, I see you, sister. It's all good. Rabbits over here, they eat rabbits, and they eat turtles over here. And a lot of people may think that you guys, RAB's like, I can't stand snails. I've never eaten those snails. I've never eaten those. I've never eaten snails. So I've never been, I've never been going to a rich thing and eating the escargot. I've gone to a lot of, like government dinners and things like that. But when they offer it, I just be like, nah. But when I go to parties and things like that, I don't eat anything. Like, I just don't eat anything, so I just stay to myself. So that's kind of how that goes. And RAB says foxes. Yeah, question mark. Yeah, they eat foxes also. And like I said, you guys, this is all because of the population that we have over here. We have billions of people. So we just don't have enough just cows, pigs, and chickens to go around the way you guys have, because you guys only have 300 million people over there. You guys have over, a little over 300 million people. We have billions of people over here, so it's different, right? So we need to bring in all those extra meats for all the meat eaters to be able to eat all those extra meats. All right, now, you guys might think like, man, they eat all these different things and like that's weird and like how can you eat all these different meats? But this is what you guys have to understand. You guys are used to eating, chicken and cow and pigs only, right? Well, Jamaicans eat goat, right? Curry goat. Jamaicans eat curry goat, right? So, you know what I mean? There's a lot, like I've never eaten goat. But there's a lot of Jamaicans that eat the curry goat. In the islands, they eat curry goat, brother. You know what I'm saying? Eat that curry goat. So a lot of people eat goat in different places and things like that. So for you guys over to be like, man, why do they eat so many different things? It's weird. It's not weird, you guys, if you're used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not weird. Like, so like, just be careful about saying like, oh man, they're crazy. How can they eat all this stuff, and these things and all these weird animals? But it's weird because you don't do it. You know what I mean? It's weird for me also because I don't eat it also, but I'm looking at it as just like, I always try to put myself in everybody's shoes, like everybody's shoes, this person's shoes, and I try to see like the full picture of it. So, and Kyle Clarice says, right. I appreciate that, Kyle Clarice. Then she gives an LOL. And RAB says, true. Thank you, RAB. And Beautiful Jewel says, yes. Thank you, Beautiful Jewel. And so that's just kind of how that goes, you guys. Just keep that in mind when you hear all the different things that you're hearing now on the internet. They eat this, they eat that, or over here in China, we eat, not me personally, but we eat this, we eat that. Just think about, it's not weird if you've been doing it. Because I'm sure too, so imagine if, so for example, for Interstellar Traveler, right? Interstellar Traveler who's a vegan or vegetarian. For vegans and vegetarians, they'll be like, y'all eat chicken and pig and cows? You see, so like when you're used to something, what somebody else does seems like a step too far. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So if you don't do it, it seems like a step too far. But it's not a step too far because there's somebody else that's used to it. Does that make sense? You see what I mean? So it's just hard to judge when you think about it like that, right? Interstellar Traveler says the problem is that those wet markets are selling those animals for thousands of dollars to eat exotic animals. And she says, you're very right, but the diseases come from illegal markets. So this is the thing. So you're right, but this is the thing, Interstellar. So diseases come from illegal markets. Yeah, absolutely. But remember the Chinese government stopped regulating the farmers that started to farm other animals, right? Because at first China only used to farm like, the big time farmers, like the rich farmers in China. You know what I mean? They only used to farm the cows and pigs and chickens. But then when there wasn't enough cows and pigs and chickens to go around, they said, okay, you know what? You guys can start farming other animals. So now you're catching animals that not only bring more diseases, but now you're also having regular people starting to catch these animals and sell them to the other grocery stores and other farms and flea markets. And so it's just so crazy, and there's so many people, it's hard to regulate for the Chinese government. So imagine how so think about it like this. In the United States, you guys have like drug dealers, right? And you guys have a certain percentage of the population who deals drugs or does criminal activity. And the police, they try to catch all drug dealers possible, right? But there's still some drugs that get through the system and get to the hood. There's still some drugs that get to the projects. There's still some drugs that get through. Even with the police and FBI and CIA doing all the work they can, there's still some drugs that get through over there, right? But think about it like this. Not everybody in the U.S. does drugs. You see what I mean? So even though there's still some drugs that get through, there's a certain number of drug dealers. And not most people aren't drug dealers. You see what I'm saying? But there's still drugs that get through the system. Now imagine this. Imagine if people were dealing food instead of drugs, because everybody eats. See, even though the United States gives so much attention to stopping drug dealers, police, FBI, CIA, whatever, give so much attention to stopping drug dealers, drugs still get through the system. And not even everybody uses drugs, but everybody eats. So imagine if all those drug dealers were actually food dealers and dealing food. You would probably have millions of more drug dealers if they were food dealers instead of drug dealers. Like, think about if you had all those food dealers. So if drugs still get through in the United States and they still find a way through, imagine if you had millions and millions and millions more that you had to try to catch. You see what I mean? So it's hard to catch everybody. So over here, we don't have drug dealers. We have food dealers. We have billions of people that need to eat, and we have food dealers, and everybody has to eat. See, drug dealers, not everybody has to use drugs. Everybody doesn't have to use cocaine. Everybody doesn't have to use heroin. Everybody doesn't have to use ecstasy. But everybody has to eat something every day. So how does the Chinese government stop that? When you got millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of food dealers catching all these animals, selling them to grocery stores, behind closed doors, getting that little payment in the back alleys for all these animals you just sold to the grocery store. All these food dealers. Right? And so, Interstellar Traveler brings, she says, so, and I see you, who's that? Carmen 197, who's that? 197-713, I see you, it's all good. And I see you, Erica, I see you, it's all good. Interstellar Traveler says, Calculator says, you're right about that, appreciate that. Interstellar Traveler says, but those foods they're selling is primarily for the rich, not all of them, Interstellar. I know you guys heard that on the internet, right? Oh, you guys heard that on the internet? It's not all for just the rich. It's not like that. It's not like that. And you have to understand also that that rich people, our rich population, because we have so many billions of people, we have so many people than you guys have. So our rich population is much bigger than your rich population also. And it's not just to rich people, right? So think about it like this. Because where the coronavirus started was from a bat to a cat. Poor people in China, we eat bats. I don't personally, but you know what I'm saying? We eat bats, we eat cats. You know what I mean? Like, cats is not a rich person's delicacy. Now, when you're talking about like a tigers, because over here they eat tigers and lions too, yes, those are strictly for the rich people. Because tigers and lions are like endangered species, so to even get them over here from India or Africa is a lot of money. So then to kill them and sell them, only rich people can afford tiger meat and lion meat. And they view those things like delicacies and things like that. Right? Because they're endangered species, it's rich, it's hard to get the tiger meat, it's hard to get the lion meat, so it's different. So yes, Interstellar, you're absolutely right about that. Those things are for rich people. So they do have a lot of things over here for rich people, like peacocks are mostly for rich people. Because there's not a lot in the world, so it's a lot of money to get the peacock meat. So those are like for rich people. Those are like the rich meats, right? But cats, dogs, bats. Coronavirus comes from bats. Ebola came from a bat. You know what I'm saying? So these things, well, coronavirus comes from a bat to a cat to people. But these things are not just for rich people. All right? But going back to the point, we just didn't have enough cows and pigs and chicken to go around. So that's what that is. Okay? That's what that is. Who's that? Edwin. I see you, Edwin. What's going on? It's all good. And Kakuri says they love dogs, huh? There's a lot of dogs going around. What's going on? Hot boy JDN. I see you. It's all good. But you guys, so that's just kind of how it goes, you know. Think about this. Think about this though. And Interstellar Traveler says, I feel you, OG. It's all good. I feel you, hot boy, JDN. It's all good. And Interstellar Traveler says, it's just baffling. And I think the human race is being punished for the mistreatment of other species as well as on Earth. Interstellar, let me tell you something. And I'm not going to get too deep into that, but it's funny you say that, because I was sitting here and for days I've been like, you know what? I think this could be like, you know, whether you believe in God or not. I believe in God, I'm religious, but whether you believe in God or not, it could, like, if you believe in God, it could be a way of, like, you know, saying like, man, the human species is being punished for like just like the way we live, and just like we're so like gluttonous. You guys know like glutens, right? Like not gluten, but gluttony. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of like the 7 sins, like the deadly sins, right? Like to be a glutton, right? To be like, you know what I mean? So like we're just like such gluttons, and we're like so greedy, and we just like stuff our mouths with just like meat and all this stuff, and we just, you know what I mean? And so, you know, whether you believe in God and like, you know, view it that way, or if you don't believe in God, you could view it like a way, the same thing though. The same thing, Interstellar Traveler is still correct, because you could view it a way as like the earth trying to protect herself, Mother Nature trying to protect herself. You know what I mean? And being like, hey, y'all humans are like, y'all spreading diseases around me and stuff like that. So whether you believe in God or you just believe in like the environment, it could be either God or it could just be Mother Nature, or a combination of the two, trying to protect themselves and being like, man, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all are living crazy, humans. Like, y'all doing all this crazy stuff, man. We got to put some diseases out there. You know what I'm saying? Calm y'all down a little bit, right? I've been thinking about that Interstellar for like 4 days now, so I'm with you on that one right here. Kyle Clarice says Interstellar is correct. She's right. Hey, I feel you on that. Kyle Clarice says, I believe in God, and God is spanking the world. You know what I mean? Y'all better tighten up. Tighten up over there. That's what God's saying. For sure. Spanking the earth. Definitely, for sure. You guys, so, and that being said, another reason why, you know, what we eat over here in China shouldn't be judged. And really quickly, Interstellar Traveler says, I am a spiritualist, and animals have thoughts as well as feelings. I am 100% with you on that, Interstellar. And Interstellar says we act as if we're better. Absolutely. And let me tell you this. See, I love talking to y'all, but you know what I mean? I love talking to y'all. So much stuff pops in my head. Let me tell you this. Not only do we act like we're better, but think about this. At least animals learn from their mistakes. We act like we're better, but we don't even learn from our mistakes. Because let me tell you this. Thousands of years ago, if tigers, you know, did something or went into a beehive or something like that and got stung, guess what? Something happens in a tiger's DNA to where those instincts are passed down through the DNA, so that the newly born tigers, they are more careful around beehives. You see what I'm saying? Or it's in their DNA so that when like a storm comes, they kind of start to sense it. Animals and things like that. And they prepare themselves, right? Birds fly south for the winter. Things like that. Animals learn. You see what I'm saying? Animals go through, a species of animals, they go through things and they embed it in their DNA, and then it becomes instinctual, so they don't make the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over, generation after generation after generation after generation. We think we're better human beings, but we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. We keep eating meat, although we know that SARS, Ebola, bird flu, mad cow disease, corona, like we keep eating meat, even though we've known for hundreds of years, right? The Spanish flu. We've known for hundreds of years it causes diseases. But oh no, we don't learn from that. we're going to keep doing it and keep causing more diseases because we just never learn. So we think we're so much more civilized and so much more intelligent. But unlike animals, we don't keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. Okay. See, animals in the wild, they know what to eat, what not to eat. Certain bugs know what other bugs to eat or what not to eat, because certain bugs, if they eat other bugs, or certain, things eat other things that cause them to get diseases and that cause them to die and things like that. They learn that because they get instincts because of their ancestors' past mistakes. Our ancestors have made past mistakes. We don't even learn from it. We don't even care. Instead of Travis says, yep, people aren't learning from even one thing, right? And she says, I was eating meat. Who's that? You guys, this is going kind of fast. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. It's all good. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. It's going kind of fast. The messages are moving kind of fast. Instead of saying something about, as a social norm, after a while, she said she used to eat meat, but, she got older. And after a while, it didn't feel right? So definitely, for sure. Cal Clarice says, smart lady. It's all good. Interstellar Traveler is so smart. I love Interstellar Traveler. Interstellar Traveler, thanks, Cal Clarice. I love our family here, for sure. Cal Clarice says, I'm getting tired myself. You know what? I get tired of that too. Just like a lot of times, and it's funny because I don't eat so much meat, but I will eat it once in a while. But, And it's funny because over maybe the past 3, 4, 5 years, and sometimes when I'll eat meat, I'll just be like, and I'll go spit it out. I'll be like, man, this is just doesn't it's just I'm chewing flesh. I just don't like the feeling a lot of times. So it's all good. VM Castro 98, I see you. Vicky, what's going on? VM Castro 98 _ Vicky, I see you. It's all good. So, that being said, you guys, so think about this also. Think about that, before we judge what people eat over here, in China or whatever, think about just eating pigs. You guys, pigs cause so many health problems, you guys. Pigs are some of the smartest animals, but pigs sweat. Pigs have sweat glands. And because pigs have sweat glands and they're fat, they sweat easily, you guys. Right? And so the Travis says real quick before I go on, she says, just replace the meat with beans and lentils. Yes. Also, there are meat substitutes that are made from beans and lentils. You guys, you can get the Beyond Meat now and the fake meat and stuff like that. The way technology is now, it tastes just as good or really close. And you don't have to eat real meat. So right now, to tell you the truth, there's really no excuse for eating meat. You really don't have an excuse, you guys, because you can get now fake meat that the technology has been so good, it tastes so close to real meat. And you guys, beans will fill you up. You guys, if you want to get filled up, there's other things that can fill you up. Right now, for the past few years, what I've been eating that really fills me up is rice with I eat rice with nuts in it. So I'll get rice, different types of rice. So for me not to get bored, I switch up my types of rice. Every day is a different type of rice. You know what I'm saying? It's rice with curry sauce, it's just different types of rice. Yellow rice, all type of stuff, Spanish rice, all type of different types of rice, right? Rice with vegetables, it's just all type of different types of rice. And I'll put different types of nuts in it, peanuts or almonds and man, it fills you up so quickly. It really fills me up, a lot. It really fills me up. And I might take some spinach and stuff and just shred the spinach and put it on top of the rice. It's really good. with the bean, like, or rice and beans with just like some peanuts thrown in there or some nuts thrown in there. I love it. Sometimes I'll get rice and just throw some cashews on top. I love it. Like, I love it. And I'll put some olive oil on it so it's not so dry. I'll put some olive oil on top of it. I love it personally. Capillary says nasty pigs. For the nasty pigs for a pig, definitely pigs. That meat is so dirty. Capillary says also just season your food and cook instead of ordering a lot. I've thought about why some people eat the way they do and it still makes me puke. Yeah, for sure. If you guys cook your own food and put different seasonings, you guys, it's like eating a different thing every day. Because when I cook my rice and I cook the different types of rice and the different seasonings on the rice, it's like a whole different taste. Every day is a whole different taste. It's like you're eating something totally different. So it's not like, sometimes people will be like, man, I'm tired of chicken, I want to eat beef. If you don't get tired of things if you put your own seasoning on top of it, you guys. So you don't have to eat meat to be like, oh, I'm tired of eating rice, let me eat meat. If you season it differently and put different things, one day put a different seasoning with peanuts, another day put a different seasoning with almonds, another day put a different seasoning with something else. It's totally different, you guys. It's totally different. And so Travis says also just season your food and cook like she just said, that's what I just said, like instead of cooking out and instead of eating out and things like that. For sure. I went over that. Calculator says, LOL. Instead of Trailer says, I have friends eating squid, etc., and I turn away. Yeah, I can't eat stuff like that. Robbie Joe 305, I see you, my brother. Instead of Trailer says, yes, just use different seasoning. Exactly. Yeah, you guys, you don't have to eat meat, but just use different seasoning. But definitely, you guys, my heart goes out to vegans and vegetarians. Any vegan or vegetarian that catches the coronavirus, I feel sorry for you guys because it's us meat eaters that brought the virus on. It came from eating meat. And you don't have to eat meat, you guys. You don't have to eat meat. But definitely, you guys, so for everybody who thinks that over here in China we eat different things, and Capillary says, yes, she's going to try to just use different seasonings and different, that's how you got to do it, man. Switch it up and it'll be good for you, Capillary, for sure. I love it like that. I love it. Different tastes every day. But for all you guys that think like over here in China we eat so many different animals, which we do. Well, I don't personally, but they do. I'm just saying we as a whole, we do. And you guys think we're weird. You guys eat so much pig over there, you guys. You guys eat so much pig, and pig is some of the filthiest meat you can eat in the entire world. I was saying because they sweat, because they have sweat glands. And they're fat, so they sweat easily, and they sit down in dirt and mud and wherever. Pigs could be in a pigsty, right? Corralled in the pigsty, right? Corralled in, right? In a space, corralled. Let's just say corralled in the space. The word I was looking for, corralled in the space. You guys, it's dirt. It could be dirt. When it rains, it gets muddy. When they go to use a bathroom, when they urinate or they shit, have a bowel movement, they do it right there, and they lay down in it and sleep because they're fat and they don't move around a lot, and they sleep and all that all day in that, you guys. And guess what? Because they sweat and they have sweat glands because they're heavy and stuff like that, but they have sweat glands. Many animals don't sweat, you guys. A lot of animals don't sweat, but pigs are one of the animals that do. And because they have sweat glands, the sweat glands open up as they sweat, and all that gets into their bloodstream, you guys. Their shit, their urine, their bowel movement, their urine, the dirt, the mud gets into their system through their sweat glands into their bloodstream. So when you eat bacon or pork chops or ribs or anything like that, right, ham, that gets into your bloodstream. The pig's urine, the pig's shit, their bowel movements, that dirt, it gets into your bloodstream. And that is why America has the highest rate of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure. So before you say, damn, in China, you guys eat all this weird meat, we don't have the obesity rates you guys have. So it's probably a lot of the meats that we eat over here are much cleaner, you guys. People say like, man, how could in China they eat cats or they eat dogs? What do cats do all day? Cats sit there and lick their fur. They're not dirty like pigs. So cat meat is a much cleaner meat. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason why the United States is number 1 for obesity, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. Think about that. So before you guys say like, man, in China y'all eat weird stuff. Yeah, but we don't got the obesity rates y'all got. So what are we doing right? You see what I'm saying? We don't have the high blood pressure rates you guys have. We don't have the heart disease rates you guys. We don't have the diabetes rates you guys have. You see what I'm saying? Just be careful before that judging comes into place, you guys. Instead of travel, I couldn't see your long thing. Everything's moving so fast. You guys, I love the comments. Everything's moving so fast. Calcularie says she's sending prayers instead of traveler's way. Instead of traveler says, my sister gave it to me one time when I was little and I had a bad allergic reaction. Instead of traveler, I missed your first comment, so I didn't see exactly what you were talking about. But my heart goes out to you and your sister for whatever that was about. Arito Owo, good to see you, Arito Owo. It's all good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Calcularie says, right, it's a lot of people out here with that. Instead of Travis says, yeah, I'm obese for my height, but I'm curvy, so Black Society says it's okay, but I'm trying to lose 50 pounds by December. Well, instead of Traveler, you are a beautiful, beautiful Black sister. You know what I'm saying? From what I see, sister. You know, but I'm not, and let me say this, I'm not trying to diss the United States or anything like that. Like I said, I was born in Miami. I love the U.S. I'm just saying that, you know, because I'm hearing a lot of things about just like, oh, like, you know, the people in China, they eat all this weird stuff. They eat all these weird things. And I'm just saying, like, slow down for a second because, you know, over here, they eat a lot of things, which I don't eat. You know what I'm saying? They eat a lot of things, but I'm just saying, like you know, kind of like people in glass houses can't throw stones because I'm saying, like, you guys eat much more pig than we eat over here. And pig is a much dirtier meat, which is why, which part of the reason, you know, of course, is also, like, the process that goes into the food. There's also the candy. There's also the high fructose corn syrup and things like that for soda and stuff like that. And you know, but you guys have much higher rates of obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes over there than we have over here. All right, but it's all good, you guys. But like I said, you guys, whew, this has been wonderful. This has been wonderful. Who is that? Janelle 4002, I see you. I see you. It's all good. It's all good. This was part 2, you guys. This was part 2 of coronavirus. Coronavirus, COVID-19, you guys. Coronavirus, COVID-19. Next time we'll do part 3. Which I have some huge information you're going to want to know for part 3. I have some great information for part 3, you guys, that you're going to want to know. All right, great information that you're going to want to know. Okay, you guys are so good, Kyle Clarice. You know what I'm saying? Instead says, "LOL, I'm glad I add to the conversation." I love all of you guys. I love all of you guys here, you guys. I love all of you guys here for sure. Man, so just keep all this stuff in mind, you guys. I mean, even in Africa, they have bush meat, right? Even in Africa, they have bush meat. You guys, so which means that they go out in Africa, they kill wild animals also. So it's just not China. It's a lot of different places, you guys. A lot of different places. So just think about that, you guys. Think about that and how all that works out. Next time, what I'm going to cover next time. Woo! Let me tell you something. I got such good information. Guess what I might do? Guess what I think I'm going to do? I think I might come on tomorrow. I think I'm going to come on tomorrow for a special diversity outspoken. I think I'm going to come because I got some information y'all need to know, you guys. I have information y'all need to know because you guys know I do music. Robbie Joe 305. Robbie Joe says, much love, bro. Much love, Robbie Joe. You know I love you, Robbie Joe. It says, keep dropping. He says, keep dropping that knowledge. I appreciate Kyle Clarice says what? We're gonna get to it. Kyle Clarice. Instead of Traveler says we should talk about immune boosting. Hey, I got a health thing going on. Hey, you guys. Instagram says I have 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8. Old Dog, Anti-Imperial to chill. Diversity Outspoken, 5 seconds left. I appreciate it, you guys. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.